This is very beginner friendly. Hi, my name is Doucette, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thanks for coming back. In today's video, I will be showing you how I got this very pretty soft glam makeup look. I wanted to make this tutorial very beginner friendly. So it's a very easy to follow step-to-step tutorial on how to get this everyday soft glam look. So if you want to see that, go ahead and keep on watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. My base routine, I heavily rely on concealers to give me the coverage that I need. My skin tint today, I have two. I have one from Danessa Myricks and another one from Fenty, and those are the two I'm going to be using. Bronzing drops. It looks like this. This is in the color Copper Gold. And this is just going to give me like a really glowy tint to my skin that I really love. I think this is perfect for like summer when you want a glowy makeup look. I like the way it looks. A little bit darker than my skin tone, but I like the way it looks mixed in with the Danessa Myricks blurring balm. And then I'm going to use the Danessa Myricks blurring balm from Real Techniques. Put a little bit in on there and put it all over my face. Now this is not going to give you full coverage, but it will give you some coverage. But I feel like it blurs and evens out my skin very, very well. So that's why I like to use it. This is part of the makeup routine where I kind of start looking crazy, but it's okay. You got to trust the process. Next, I'm going to conceal. I'm going to start off. You have to start off with a concealer that's very close to your skin tone, right? To conceal any imperfections in your skin. I use the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Lift and Flex Concealer in the shade 16. As a beginner, I highly recommend when you learn your face, because you want to make sure that where you're placing your products makes sense for your face. As I have very high cheekbones, I have to place it very high. So I kind of place it right there, very high. And I'm using first like a flat brush to apply the bronzer, and then I'm gonna blend it in. So I'm gonna put some on my cheeks. Now I'm putting some on my jawline, and then I'm gonna put some on my forehead. And if you have a big forehead like me, you can definitely use bronzer to make your forehead smaller. That's not really what I do with my bronzer, but you definitely could. You can use a brush like this where it's angled, or you can use a tightly dense brush like this. I like to start with my chin, and then you just want to like kind of go back and forth to smooth out that product. And when I get to my cheeks, I like to blend up versus down. Go ahead and keep blending up. And you see how it kind of just faded? That's what you want. When you blend your forehead, you want to blend down. Really contour my nose. I just like to bring in some depth and color to it with a little bit of bronzer. And we're going to keep blending this bronzer as we do our makeup. So when you first blend it, if it's not all the way blended, that's fine. The reason why I let concealer sit is to give me more coverage, like I said. And so I'm just going to go in with my beauty blender and blend in the concealer into my eye. And you want to make sure that you blend really well when you're blending concealer, because when you set everything at the end, you don't want any creasing or any unblended spots, because when you set it, that's how it's going to look. Whatever you blend, and when you set it, that's how it's going to look. So now we're going to go in with our second concealer. This concealer is also like my skin tone, but a little bit brighter. And this is from Fenty Beauty. I love this concealer. Their old concealers used to be my go-to, but this Wear Even concealer is even better. That under my eye, on my chin, and a little bit on my forehead. Concealer has been sitting for a while now. Now we're going to go in and blend. I'm going to start with my chin. You just want to tap back and forth. Make sure that wherever you apply the product, that is where you are sticking with it, okay? And then when you blend your under eye, you want to start from the outermost point of your eye, under eye, to the innermost point of your eye. So you're going to blend that in. And I think letting your concealer sit makes it easier to blend as well, because it's kind of stuck in place. And just blend. Take your time blending your under eye, and make sure you really blend underneath your eye, because that's where you're gonna get the most creasing. And it's not that you're ever gonna find a concealer that does not crease, because they all crease and your under eye is going to crease, but you want to get as minimal creasing as possible, and really taking your time with blending helps with creasing. And you see how just flawless my under eye looks? Very blended, very seamless. Just to make sure that I don't have any lines of demarcation. Or see how even though that concealer was very close, the second concealer was very close to my skin tone, it gave me a little bit more lift, a little bit more brightness. Now we're gonna go in and we're gonna add just a tiny bit more brightness with my third and final concealer. At least for this makeup look, it's the same concealer that I used. It's the same concealer I just used, but in the color 370N, which is a lighter color. And also, as a beginner, you want to make sure that you figure out whatever your undertone is, right? That's going to help determine what shades you get in concealer, in bronzer, in foundation. Because if you're neutral tone and you get a very yellow concealer, it's just not going to match well with your skin, and you're going to have to do a lot to make sure that everything looks good. I have more neutral undertones. Before I figured that out, I feel like my makeup looked crazy. So I apply that. I'm only going to apply that underneath my eye, this very bright concealer, because that's where I want the brightness to be. When the sun hits your face, like, it illuminates underneath your eyes. And then whatever I have left over after I blend, I will put on my chin, and then I will also put a little bit on my forehead. Actually, while we let the concealer sit, I'm going to do my eyebrows. I feel like my eyebrows look the best when I don't do that much to it. I just fill it in a little bit. I'm going to be using this Revolution Makeup eyebrow pencil in the color dark brown. I actually should be using warm brown because my hair is light, but that's okay. See, the applicator is angled, so it makes it really easy to draw little hairs on your forehead, on your eyebrows. So I'm just going to start here and lightly tap up. Very, very ever so lightly. Don't want to make your eyebrows too dark. Especially in the very, like, front of your eyebrows. You see how it's just very light? Folks, I'm barely moving my hand all the way towards the end of my eyebrows. I don't want to stay in one space too long, and that is it. That is all I'm going to do with my eyebrow. And same thing, but with this concealer, you want to keep it right here where you applied it, because that's where you want the brightness to be. So I'm just going to make sure I blend very close and I don't really bring it out. Take the back of my beauty blender and blend out those edges by just lightly tapping. And you see how there was like a mark of demarcation and now it's gone? Literally, that's all you need. I'm gonna blend a little bit more. Make sure I'm blending into my nose, because sometimes if you don't blend really well, you'll get like kind of a buildup of product on your nose. So you want to make sure that you're blending really into your nose, especially like in this corner right here where your nostrils are. You don't want like product just sitting there. You want to make sure that it's nicely blended. And there we go. Now we're going to do the other eye, same thing. I feel like as a beginner, when I first started doing my makeup, I just had to learn through like trial and error what worked for my face, what looked good, what didn't. Like, and I feel like that was fun. Like, your makeup will look different day to day when you're a beginner, versus now. Like, I've been doing my makeup since I was 17 years old, so I know my face really well. I've used a lot of products over the years, so I've found what works for me. I don't even switch out products anymore. Like, I use the same products all the time, the same brushes all the time, because I just know what works for me. But when I was younger, like, it was just so fun to like, oh, my face looks completely different and my makeup looks completely different today because I tried a different technique, because I'm still learning and I was literally just trying out things. Versus now where it's like it's more stable. But sometimes I kind of miss that stage of makeup when I was younger and less experienced with makeup, where I was just doing things and trying things, and sometimes they worked, sometimes they didn't. Sometimes I went outside looking crazy, sometimes I went outside looking really good, and that was the fun of it to me. I'm just going back into my bronzer a little bit and blending everything in and pulling it all together. I'm gonna put on liquid blush now. Now, liquid blush can be a little intimidating, especially when you're just starting out. When I started out with my makeup, first of all, I never wore blush, but I did not like using liquid products after I did my base routine because I always felt like I would mess it up. But there's no need to fear liquid blushes or liquid products. You just need to make sure that you're building up the product versus just putting a whole bunch on and then trying to blend it away. So I'm going to use the Juvia's Posy liquid blush, and I'm going to put the tiniest bit amount of this on my cheeks. And I want to make sure I apply it where I would apply my my powder blush. Start blending and tapping it into, I'm blending it into my eye. And you kind of want to go in a circular motion too to really blend it. Notice how I'm not blending it down, I'm blending it in. Blending it in, not blending it down. With my face shape, I don't want to blend my products down. I feel like that drags down my face. I'm gonna go back into my bronzer blush, and just to make sure that this is blended together, I'm just gonna tap everything in. Make sure we have no lines of demarcation or anything like that. And as you get more comfortable with liquid products, you can go back into the blush and add more. So first thing, I set my face in like 3 different stages. As you're realizing with makeup, you kind of have to do things in stages and multiple times. Using the Huda Beauty setting powder, and I'm gonna use this to set underneath my eye. A little powder puff to set my under eye. You can also set your face with your beauty blender, and I used to do that, and that's fine, but this just really helps get into the crease of every corner of your under eye because of the shape of it. It's perfect. Because the Huda Beauty powder is in a travel size, I have to pour it into my one size cap. I'm just gonna pour that in. First, that your under eye is really blended, so I'm gonna go back in with my beauty blender, focusing the pointy end underneath my eye to make sure I get into like the little crevices, and those are really, really blended in. My powder puff into the powder, blow it, tap it on my hand so that I can evenly distribute it. Really just patting that powder in, just kind of like you were blending your concealer. You're gonna want to blend this powder into your skin, right? You're not just gonna want to apply it and move on. You really want to blend it into your under eye. If you blended everything like I've been saying throughout this video, do you see that? Perfection. I'm gonna do this on my hand. I'm just gonna I'm going to set my chin because I applied concealer there. Wherever you applied concealer, you want to set that with your setting powder. But I don't like a lot of powder on my chin or my forehead, so I just use whatever is left on my powder. I'm going to take a very kind of dense, very big round brush, and my Sephora Micro Smooth powder is broken, so I keep it in this bag, but it looks like this. And I'm in the color Deep, and so this is going to help set the rest of our face. Do too much blending with that. You kind of just put it on your face and it'll do the job. I'm going to use two powder bronzers to set my bronzer in place. This is from Makeup Revolution. I've had it. It's actually a pressed powder, but I've had it for a while and I love it. It's a very neutral powder. Start on our chin, just fluffing in this product. Go into my NARS Laguna 8 bronzer. This is a little deeper, and I'm going to apply just a little bit of this, like right here, just to deepen up this a little bit, but not too much. Now we're gonna go into blush palette from Juvia's Place. This is volume 2, and I'm gonna take my blush brush. This is like an angled brush, and I'm going to take this color right here, and I'm gonna apply that very high on my cheeks, keeping it very concentrated. Just like in the same manner that I applied my liquid blush, I'm gonna drag it, not drag it, but pat it inside to, like inside my eye, inside my, underneath my eye. I love blush. I don't know how I went so long without wearing blush, because blush just does it for me. Go in with the lighter color, and that lighter color I'm gonna take right here, like further down, but really into my cheeks, but really into my under eye. Put some blush on your nose as well. I really like that trick. It just makes everything. We're gonna go back into the eyes and fix that up. Control very bright color and apply that to our eyelid. I'm gonna go into the Masquerade palette again, and we're gonna take that neutral brown color and reapply that as well. Blend it up into our eyebrows. That brown color, that warmer brown color, we're just gonna put that on the outermost corner. Poke it out a little. Get it really close to the lash line as well. See how it just gives us some down. I'm gonna go back into my fluffier brush, blend everything in again. There's no harsh lines. And now I'm gonna go back into that BH Cosmetics palette. I'm gonna take that very bright color and apply it on the innermost corners of my eye. Kind of like I would a shimmer, but because this is an all matte look, I'm gonna use this instead. And then blow it out. Now we're gonna work on the lower lashes, and we're gonna apply the shadows there, that more warm tone brown, and we're going to apply that to our lash line. See how pretty that looks? It really opens up our eye. Neutral brown, and we're gonna apply that very end of our eye. I like a very bright under eye, so I'm going to take the One Size Beauty powder in translucent. It also adds, it's translucent, but on me, I feel like it's very, very brightening. So it can give me that like under eye bright effect that I like, while also locking everything in place again. And then I'm gonna go back in and blend everything in with my blush brush. So before I apply my lashes, I'm going to put this brown liner on my waterline. This is the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the color Whiskey. It's a very pretty brown color. You can drag your eye down and apply the liner. Oh, that is so pretty. I love brown mascara and brown liner. I'm gonna put on lashes. They're these lashes from Ardell. They're the active lashes and the Style Gains. I just feel like this goes so well with my eye shape. And the way that I apply my glue for my lashes is I don't apply it on the lash, I apply it on my eye. Just literally go in with my glue very near to my lashes to let it sit for a little bit, because you want to make sure the glue gets tacky before you actually apply your lashes. And then I just apply my lashes on. I'm gonna fix it after I apply the other one to the other eye, and I'll show you guys how to do that. It's very hard applying lashes on camera. Now that our lashes are on, I'm going to take a mascara. This one is from Essence. I'm going to apply mascara to my actual lashes underneath. And I'm doing this so that it blends in with the lashes I applied, but also so I can stick them together. I'm going to take your fingers and literally stick your lashes with the falsies so that they look like one. Mascara I just applied was in black. I'm going to use the same mascara but in the color brown, and I'm going to apply this to my lower lashes. Because this is a soft glam look, I feel that the brown liner on the waterline and the brown mascara is just the way to go. I think I'm gonna do a nude lip. I take 2 lip liners, Charlotte Tilbury lip liner and Foxy Brown. Lip liner is very easy to apply. You just have to follow the natural shape of your lips. And like everything else as a beginner, take your time with it. I like to overline my lips a little. You want to color in like the inner corner of your lips. This is the Makeup Forever Limitless Brown liner. See how I warmed up my lips just a little bit? And it's darker too. I used this Charlotte Tilbury lipstick. It's in the shade KKW. It's like a nude pink. Very bright. Lipstick that's very bright. You can always go back in with your lip liner on the inner corner. Shade it in. See how it's more blended in now that I went in with the liner. Go in with the Juvia's Place, the Coffee Shop lip gloss in Cookie Butter. This is a very pretty nude. And then I'm going to apply this NYX Bangin' Bear lip gloss. This is a plumping one, just in the middle. Use a clear gloss that you can squeeze out so that the clear gloss doesn't get contaminated. And and it just completes the look for me. So this is a lip combo, and that is the finished makeup look. Like, this is my everyday beginner friendly soft glam look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.